Hello, everyone. This is North Hempstead Town Supervisor Judy Bosworth. In 2018, the town took the National Wildlife Federation's Mayor's Monarch Pledge to help the declining population of monarch butterflies and other pollinators like honeybees through actions like public outreach and creating native habitats in town parks. Pollinators, such as butterflies and bees, are extremely important as they help maintain the habitats and ecosystems that many animals rely on for food and shelter. Approximately 80% of the world's flowering plants are pollinated by animals, and most of these pollinators are insects. These plants include our food sources, medicines, and the plants in our gardens and natural areas. You can help butterflies and other pollinators by planting native plants and making small changes such as not using or reducing the amount of pesticides in your yard. Today, we will learn more about butterflies, their habitat, and their life cycle, including metamorphosis and why they are such important pollinators. So, join us as we take a very special inside look at the Science Museum of Long Island's butterfly exhibit.
Hi, my name's Natasha and I'm an educator here at the Science Museum of Long Island. This building has been here for over 100 years and sits on Leeds Pond Preserve in Nassau County. Today we're going to be talking about pollinators and learning all the things about them and why they are so important to our environment and our ecosystem here at the Science Museum and all over the world. Welcome to the Pollinator Garden here at the Science Museum of Long Island. We'd like to thank Peggy Maslow, one of our board members here, as well as the president of the North Shore Audubon Society for setting this up. It helps promote a healthy environment for all types of pollinators to come and visit and a safe spot for them to help keep our environment nice and healthy. We're going to start seeing things like zinnias, daisies, milkweeds, and all these kinds of plants are our pollinators' favorite things to visit. It provides a good source of nutrients, and it also provides a safe place for them to come and rest while they're traveling around looking for other flowers. Even if you don't plant flowers specifically for pollinators, it's important to leave things like our dandelions, we have irises, and even the clovers that bloom, those little white flowers, are super duper important for our pollinators. They love these, they grow easily all over the place, and they're very, very important as another food source and a way for them to pollinate these other flowers as well. You might be wondering what pollination even is. Pollination is when a grain of pollen moves from the male anther of a flower and finds its way to the female stigma. And this is super important because without this process, we would not get any seeds that later lead to other plants, that lead to flowers, fruits, nuts, and all the important food sources that humans and other animals rely on. Most of this pollen needs to be transferred through a vector. And a vector is things like wind, water, animals, insects, and all that kind of stuff that might be able to help our pollen move from one flower to another flower. And a flower is only going to produce a seed if pollen is coming from the same species of plant. So, we have lots of different types of pollinators out here. We have bees, we have butterflies, some birds, and even bats in some cases can be pollinators as well. And although our vertebrate pollinators, things like larger animals, only make up about 1,000 species of pollinators, there are over 16,000 different species of bees alone worldwide that help pollinate the 300,000 different plants that need help pollinating all over the world. Pollination is usually a byproduct of animal activities, whether they are just moving around in the field, pollen gets stuck to an animal's fur and gets transferred to another flower, or in some cases with a lot of our insects, they are usually looking for a food source, which is either the pollen itself, which is very rich in protein, or it might get stuck to a butterfly as it lands on a flower while it's drinking some nectar out of the flower itself. When our pollinators are out looking for flowers, there's usually a few different things that they are looking for to let them know that their food source is going to provide everything that they need. So they're usually looking for bright colors, sweet smells, and even the shape of the petal can affect whether or not the bee or the butterfly might want to land on the plant. This is actually called Pollinator Syndrome, where these insects and animals are attracted to these features that these flowers have evolved in order to get these pollinators to visit them to increase the likelihood of being pollinated and transferring the pollen to other flowers as well. So we might be wondering, why are these pollinators so important? Even though they're tiny little animals, things like bees and butterflies, they help to pollinate almost 75% of the major crops that humans and other animals eat. Without them, we would be missing most of our fruits, vegetables, and nuts that we eat in our everyday life that provide very, very important nutrients to humans as well as all the other animals we share this planet with. And with the help of our pollinators in our pollinator garden, we can grow all kinds of different fruits and vegetables here. Without them, even the entire ecosystem would have a very hard time being healthy and thriving. With our bees and our butterflies pollinating all of these different plants, fruits, vegetables, this creates the base layer of our food chain, especially for our herbivores, our plant eaters. They rely on lots of healthy plants and a variety of different fruits and vegetables in order for them to be healthy and have high population numbers. If we don't have pollinators, then our herbivores wouldn't have any plants to eat, which means our predators won't have any herbivores to eat. And it makes its way up the food chain, affecting every single animal, all the way from the smallest guys at the bottom to the biggest guys at the top, including humans as well. So it's very, very important to protect our pollinators, which means planting flowers that are going to attract them and trying to avoid things like pesticides, which can unfortunately kill the bees and the butterflies and does not lead to a healthy population of pollinators. All over the nature preserve at the Science Museum, we have set up some birdhouses as well as bat boxes, because a lot of times when we think of pollinators, we jump to honeybees or butterflies, but some of our unsung hero pollinators are things like small birds like hummingbirds and even some bats that will feed on the nectar of different types of flowers. So we have these homes set up so that our larger vertebrate pollinators have a place to live and stay and be safe. They will help pollinate all the flowers here that we have and help pollinate our garden as well. So one of the main types of pollinators that we see here and all over the world are butterflies. These beautiful insects actually start out and have a very complicated life cycle. We're going to talk about that real quick. So in the very, very beginning, before they are a butterfly, they start out as a teeny tiny egg laid on a leaf. So when our butterflies eventually emerge, they're looking for a nice safe spot in order to lay their eggs. Once these eggs hatch, what we get is our caterpillar. And just like the book says, they are very, very hungry and they will actually eat their egg casing that they hatch from. They will eat the leaf that they're laid on, and they will continue to eat and eat and eat for a few weeks until they're nice and fat and they are ready to build what is called a chrysalis. So inside this chrysalis is where the magic happens. Our caterpillar goes through a crazy transformation where the entire body liquefies into a big pile of goo and it rebuilds itself up. And this process takes about 2 weeks. Our chrysalis starts out as green, but once it eventually turns into a brownish color and a bit more of a J shape, we will expect to see a butterfly emerging very soon. So eventually our butterfly will start to make its way out. It'll emerge, but when it first comes out, it's a little bit wet and damp. It needs to flap its wings for about an hour in order to let it dry, and then our beautiful butterfly will fly away looking for its first meal. It will use what is called its proboscis in order to drink the nectar out of all the different flowers, and in the process of doing this, our butterfly will also be pollinating as well. If you would like to plant your own garden at home that's friendly for our pollinators, I have a list of plants that'll help bring them to your yard. Those kinds of flowers include marigolds, milkweeds, poppies, petunias, sunflowers, and even a plant called a butterfly flower, which will bring tons of butterflies to your garden. Thank you so much for joining us today at the Science Museum of Long Island to learn all about the pollinators here. You should definitely come and visit our 36-acre preserve and check out our pollinator garden when it is in full bloom. Again, we want to thank Peggy Maslow so much for helping make that happen, so that way we can have a very, very healthy ecosystem of pollinators here. And we hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
So today, we're going to be reading a wonderful book, and it's called The Very Impatient Caterpillar. And it was written by Ross Burach. And so listen about what happens to this caterpillar as he is very impatiently waiting to become a butterfly. Very impatient caterpillar. Hey, what are you guys doing? We're going to metamorphosize. Meta what now? Transform into butterflies. Right, I knew that. Wait, you're telling me I can become a butterfly? Yes. With wings? Yes. For real? Yes. Wait for me. Now what? Build your chrysalis. Chrysalis, right, I knew that. What? How did you do that? Is it a spin or more of a twirl? Am I a butterfly yet? Oh. Now what? Just be patient and let nature take its course. Patience, right. I got this. Am I a butterfly yet? No. How about now? Nope. Now? No, be patient. I have a question. Not yet. You don't even know what I was going to ask. Fine, ask. How's your day going? Also, am I a butterfly yet? No, just be patient. Shh, we're trying to metamorphosize. Okay. Obviously, I know this, but do you know how long this takes? 2 weeks. Right, 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Oh, what am I going to do in here for 2 weeks? Can I get a comic book or something? What if I need the bathroom? Anyone want to play a game? What if I want a snack? Hello, 2 pizzas, please. My address? A Chrysalis. Hello? How long have I been in here? It's still day 1? This is taking forever. That's it. I feel metamorphosized enough. Look out, world. Feast your eyes on this beautiful butterfly. How do I look? Transformed? Time to spread my wings and fly? Wait, flap, flap, flap. Where are my wings? Splat. Time for a new approach. Okay, you can do this. You can be patient. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't be patient. Get a grip, you can. I can't. You are the little caterpillar that could. I am the little caterpillar that couldn't. You can. I can't. You can. I can't. You can. I can't. Can. Can't. Day 1, I can be patient. Day 2, patience is all in the mind. Day 3, be one with the chrysalis. Day 4, deep breath in. Day 5, and out. Day 6, look, day 6. Day 7, I'm doing it. Day 8, just be patient. Day 9, just be patient. Day 10, day 11, 2 weeks later. I did it! I'm a butterfly. You know, I do feel transformed. Starting now, I'm going to be way more patient. Oh, that's great. Hey, where are you all going? We're migrating. Migrating, right. Wait for me. Are we there yet? So we just heard about the very impatient caterpillar who turns into a butterfly. I kind of get the feeling he's going to be an impatient butterfly as well.
Today we're going to be doing a butterfly garden craft. Let's take a look inside our bags. We have an activity book, some crayons, we can put those aside for later, a bag of soil, some seeds for our butterfly garden, an apron. Let's go put that on. Some instruction cards on how to mix your colors and a little bit about your kit. A paintbrush. And then a wrapped piece with a bag of your paints inside. What you'll need from home is a paper towel or a disposable plate, a cup of water to rinse your brush, another paper towel to dry your brush, and a spoon for when we plant our kit. When you unpack your paints, if they're either dried out or if they separated, there's an easy fix to that. So when we carefully open them, let's do that on this paper plate. When we open them, you'll see if they're separated by if you see chunks of color and then some water, kind of like you see that there. So in order to fix that, we're just going to very carefully mix it up, just like that. If your paint's dried out, what we can do is take a bit of water and a little bit at a time, we can add some water to our paint and mix that up as well. You can ask your parents for help if you need. See, like this one here. Looks like we need to stir it up a bit. Perfect. Let's go ahead and start painting. Over here you'll see I've done two different designs already. I've done a rainbow where I've mixed colors using our color chart to make the rainbow, and then I used some leftover paint to write the name. You can do something like that, or on this one here, I took the colors that we have and didn't mix them, and I just did some different polka dot designs by making circles with my paintbrush, and then on the top I did some stripes. You can be as creative as you want. You can paint a picture, you can do a design, a pattern, anything like that. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna mix some colors and I'm going to paint a little scene. So I'm gonna mix some blue on my plate with some yellow to make green. You can add more yellow if you want it to be a brighter green. And just keep adding the colors until you get the kind of shade that you like. So that's the green that I want to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some green grass. So I'm going to paint the bottom green like this. And I'm going to go all around the bottom. And it's okay if some spots are higher than the rest, because it'll look like a grassy field. Now I'm going to take a little bit more green and I'm going to make a stem for a flower, and I'll make a few of them. Put some close together, some further apart. Some really long, some short. Now I'm going to rinse off my brush. I'm going to dry it. And then I'm going to do a yellow dot in the middle here. And And then I'm gonna rinse my brush off again, and I'm gonna do some red flowers. So I'm gonna dip my brush in the red, and I'm gonna make an oval shape like that. And then I'm gonna do another one here. So almost like you're writing the letter O. And we're gonna do that a few more times. Because flowers actually attract butterflies. So if there's some flower drawings, that might help them notice the flower pot. Of course, once the flowers start to grow, they'll see it as well. So that's one flower. Then over here, we can try to draw a tulip. So for a tulip, you draw the letter U, and then you draw the letter W on top. And then you can fill that in. And then I'm going to, let's make some purple. So we can take some red on your plate, and then some blue on your plate, and we're gonna mix those together till you get the shade of purple that you want. Add a little bit more red to mine. And for this one, I'm going to do another one like this. So we can take the back of our paintbrush to make the little dot in the middle, just like that. I'm gonna wipe that off. And then we're gonna take the purple and make our letter O. Letter O. And then I think I'll make another tulip over here. So that was the letter U. And then the letter W. And then fill that in, just like that. And then if you want another color flower, you can do that. I think I'm going to do some yellow flowers. This one, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make I'll make a dot with the red for a red center this time. And then I'm gonna take the yellow and just make little lines like this. Just like that. Just dab it on. Just like that. You can do as many or as little as you want. And do the same thing on this side. I'll do one more over here. Just like that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the blue And I'm gonna paint this top rim fully blue so it looks like the sky. Or what you could do is just make some blue clouds. So we can just make some funny shapes on the top to make it look like a cloud. All clouds look completely different, so whatever you decide to do is perfect. Just like that. So now we have some blue clouds over our flowers. I think it looks good. So now we're gonna let that dry, and then we're going to put our soil and our seeds inside. While you let this dry, if you want, you can do some coloring in our activity book. They have a lot of different coloring pages, but they also have some fun like word searches and matching things. So take a look. Let's plant our seeds. So you have a bag of soil. You can either try to dump it in, but that might be a little bit messy. So if you have a plastic spoon at home, you can go ahead and use that. We're gonna fill our planter. You can ask your parents or guardian for help on this. It has the instructions on the back, the proper way to plant this. And if you have other soil at home, feel free to use that. Or if you don't want to put it in this flower pot and you have a garden, you're more than welcome to ask your parents if that's okay to put them outside in the garden. So I'm gonna fill mine up to this line right here. And then we're gonna open our seeds. And this is a mixed packet that is supposed to attract butterflies and other pollinators. Pollinators are really great. They're butterflies and bees. They help take the pollen from one plant and distribute them to other plants and help things grow. So you can see they're all different types of seeds that came out. So we're gonna gently place them right on top. Just like that. You can put a few in, you can put a whole bunch in, and then we're lightly gonna cover them up just a little bit. You don't want them to be very deep inside like some plants. Oops. You just want them covered just a little bit. And then I'm gonna pat it down just so we're sure that it's covered. And if you have any left over in your little envelope, you can ask your family if you can put them outside and sprinkle them. And then you want to water them just a little bit every day to make sure that they start to grow. We hope you had a great time painting with us and planting your very own butterfly garden. We'd love to see how your butterfly garden turns out, so feel free to tag Mudworks07 or the town of North Hempstead on Instagram and Facebook. We hope to paint with you again soon.